Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps. And I spy with my little eye something that starts with a V. Is that Vince Armenti in chat? Oh my God. I'm just gonna put a random chat. How you doing, bud? Good to see you back here again. It's been a long time since we've seen Vince in the chats. I know you're doing some sports betting stuff and you're figuring out how to break the casino. So good to have you back, man. Everybody else, apologies for being a little bit late, but I was adding the votes for the hard hat. I'll give you the winner here in a little bit. So a little bit of jankiness on my screens today. I didn't make enough updates, but we'll get through it all today. So here we go. Let's get started with our news of the day about Chiro. So here's the deal. I had a little conversation with Crystal last night. She also got into the chat, by the way. If you're not on Discord, get on Discord in general, but specifically over at Big AZ's Discord, we've been talking a lot about Chiro. There's a big old thread there on the main chat there. There's updates that I give on our Discord and Jeff's as well, but over at AZ's is where the conversation seems to be happening. Anyway, she jumped in there last night, was kind of just bullshitting with the guys, which is actually pretty cool. But I want to make sure that we're giving you what's going on as far as I know what's going on. So here's what we talked about last night, and what I heard from her this morning is that he's still out. He was on. They put him on after the second open heart surgery when they had to fix that bleed that he had. They put him back on sedation and they put him on a paralytic and they put him on fentanyl and some other painkiller, I guess, to kind of keep him calm, right? Because that's what you got to do. So let him just kind of lay there, be calm, and sort of rest it out. And we know we had the liver issue, we had the kidneys failing, we had all these, all the systems kind of shutting down and coming back up again over the course of the last few days. And I think a lot of that is just, your body's just racked and it's just trying to do its thing. But now he's off the paralytics, he's off the fentanyl, he's off the sedation medicine, he's off the painkillers even, and he's just on antibiotics and some other stuff, and he's still unconscious. He came to for a little bit the one day, for a few breaths, and then he was out. So she said he's still out, he's still in the respirator, and they're waiting for him to wake up. And there's concerns. Obviously, there's concerns because he lost oxygen for an extended period a couple of times. I think 2 or 3 times, she said, during all the surgeries and when he crashed that one time, the second night. So they don't know. They did a CT scan that was inconclusive. They're doing an MRI soon to kind of get a look at his brain and see if there's any brain issues from being without oxygen for so long on those multiple occasions. That's the next hurdle to cross, is that they can't do the thing with the CT or the MRI is they got to take all the tubes out of them, right? All that stuff's got to come out so you can go in the MRI machine. And of course, that stuff's all keeping him alive right now. So it's holy crap. It's the snowball of shit. And to make matters worse, she said now he's been diagnosed with coronavirus, not COVID, but a coronavirus. So she can't even really be touching him today. So, it's one thing after another. I'll tell you what, when Chiro comes to, right, and we get to talk to him again, we have got to call it out. That is the toughest son of a bitch any of us know. I mean, seriously, he's been through everything on this trip, right? The 2 heart surgeries, the bleed, the open heart, the cracked open heart, coronavirus, liver failure, kidney failure, and he's going to come back and be strong. And man, that's a tough dude. So that guy gets all the respect. When he comes back too, I can't wait to let him know just how tough he was. My God, it's crazy. So let's just keep him here, man. I mean, today and tomorrow are big days, right? He's got to clear the CV, obviously, and we got to get him up. We got to get him awake and engaged. That's the next big thing. She said, I have no concern about, if he's going to live. I think she's past that. The doctors seem to be past that as well. I think it's just about now, what's it going to be like for him when he's back? What's all happened and how does the body heal from all this? So let's just keep him in our prayers, and let's, again, every update that we get, I'll let you know, and I'm sure she'll be back out there. Now that she knows what a bunch of crazies you are in Discord, she'll be out there. So as always on the shows, I'm tracking my 11s, and I've been donating 11 per 11 as we go here. So if y'all want to do that, PayPal link is here. I don't have it with me handy. I'll post it out there in chat, or somebody has it handy, post it in chat. Drop them a donation. I'd love if you matched me on the 11th. It'd be kind of cool. So, all right, here's the deal. This screen that I'm going to go to next is not quite up to date, so I apologize. The numbers here are wrong. It's actually 12 and 4. We lost another $700 yesterday in this strategy, and I've got we got to talk about this. So this screen, like I said, the numbers are wrong. It's 12 and 4. It's plus $390 or whatever it is now, right? So we're basically at square one. We've dropped all those nice wins we had. We dropped them all yesterday. And I thought about a couple of things with it. And I had this little rant at the end of the show, and I want your opinion on it. And in chat, I need you to start doing, right now, if you have an opinion on that show, put DPC, Daily Paycheck, in front of your chat. And let me know what you think about what I'm about to say. One is this. I made the decision a while back to not deviate from the strategy. We're not going to try and chase the table, right, hot or cold. I'm not going to put extra bets out there. I'm not going to not play when the 7 seems to be cold or when the table seems to be hot. We're just going to play it out, right? And I made that decision because I think it's important to see the strategy lose or win on its own accord. Basically, it's win craps live, right? We can call out what moves we'd probably make, what moves we should be making right now, and make note of it during the show, but I'm not going to actually bet that way. I want you to see the strategy over the course of the whole 30 days, do what it's going to do or not. I think it's really important. Now, if you want to see me play the game as I would play the game in the table conditions where they are, I could put a second player in the rack and play one straight and one kind of like, let's play and have some fun with it. We can do that. I don't know if that takes away from the quality of the show or not, or the quality of the education that I'm trying to put out there. So you tell me what you think about that. I can play a second guy as I would play it, or we can just let the thing go as it is. That's the first part of it. The second part of it is this. I made this comment yesterday, and JB called me out, and he was right to do so. I said, well, shit, if we had $5,000, we'd never lose, right? Which is a stupid freaking comment to make, right? It doesn't matter how much money you've got, you're going to find that perfect storm. But what I did was I broke out win craps last night, and because I was thinking about, like, am I playing this thing wrong, right? $25 with $10 bumps, 25 with $5 bumps, $10 with all the odds. We tried a different bunch of combinations on how to ladder the thing up, and trying to chase, like, what's the right mix blend of bet sizing, right? And we tried bigger and half size. We tried all the different ways of doing it, and what I found through win craps is this. If you just make both bets the same size and you ladder them up by a full bet, so in other words, 25 goes to 50, goes to 75, goes to 100, and you don't put a cap on it, even though we're underfunded, that's the best way to play this thing. Now, there's going to be days where that thing goes to zero quicker, right? But if I did that strategy yesterday I lost $700, right? We lost $700 yesterday doing it with a small ladder, and I was using odds to get the DCs through and the whole thing. We would have won 3 paychecks yesterday if I'd have just done flat with a flat. No hedging, no nothing, no odds, right? No 11s, just straight up $25 flat, $25 bumps. If I'd have done that, we would have won 3 paychecks yesterday and never would have got below $600 in our rack. So now that's just yesterday, but yesterday was a good day. We sniped ourselves a lot. So I'm probably going to go back and play it that way and just say, what the hell? You know, I just do it the way we wrote it. The way we wrote it originally is the best way. It's going commando. It's full-size ladders. It's not farting around with all this craziness. The original Ladderson that went undefeated and went 10-0 this week or last week is the way to play it. I'm gonna keep that up. So let me go here and search for the DDCs, DPC, DPC. I can't spell my own thing. Nemo says win craps can be done mechanically. I have to make the adjustment to what you're right. And here's the thing. I'm going to put that comment up because I think this is important. Win craps is what it is. And I think I've done enough win craps with all of you, right? You've seen the big jagged spikes and the dips, and you can see the graphs, right? Vince is a huge Windcrafts guy, right? And you can see all the spikes and how many times it wins and loses and all that stuff, right? I think when you see in real time on a real table, again, I've run now what 1,200 or whatever number of rolls it's been. I think it's 1,200 rolls since we started this thing just 2 weeks ago. When you see 1,000+ rolls in Windcrafts and you go spike, 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 you oh, that strategy is interesting, right? You're seeing the real time, right? I think doing kind of Windcrafts live, like it's actual dice, it's actual money, it's actual chips, it's me swearing and breaking shit. I think that's way more valuable to see what makes the Windcraft spike go to the floor. Because seeing the graph go to 0 is one thing. Seeing the dice make your bets go to 0 is a whole different ballgame. And I think if I jumped out of the strategy and tried to fix it in the middle of the game, it would take away from what the strategy is. Then you're watching me be a craps player, and you're not watching the strategy get put through its paces. And that's kind of what I want to see. And I want to know from you guys if I'm right about that. Am I right about that's what we should be showing? I think we should be showing the strategy getting stress tested so that you can make an educated decision. I will never play this because I saw that happen, or I see that happen all the time, and I don't want to be part of that at a table, right? Or you say, I love that strategy, right? I'll take the risk that won't happen very often, and the rest of the time I'm going to be solid. Or I'll be smart enough that when that happens, I'll pull out. I won't ever have the giant loss that John had. You can't make that call looking at Windcrafts graphs. You can make that call looking at live dice and going, well, I know when to pull out, and I think that strategy is still solid. That's what I want from this whole thing. Does that make sense? I hope that makes good sense. I'm trying to explain as best I can, and I'm going to keep playing mechanically, but I may put a second player up there. So there it is, right? There you go. Vince is going to give us the secret, which I love. It's hard to go 30-0, man. It's hard to go 30-0. I will run, by the way, the flat Latterson against all the rolls so far. And I'll do that probably on Friday, just so you can see if we had played it the same way the entire way through, how many wins and losses would we actually have had. So we'll get you that coming up. So Dan says, show the strategy as designed. Where's my mouse? There it is. Dan says, show it as designed. And Ryan says, the base idea is to show all strategies can be broke, right? Partially, right? This one I'm rooting for him to win. On the Stop Loss Zero show, I'm hoping that they go broke. It's good to see him go broke. It's good to see that, you know, as smart as we all think we are, and as good as our strategies seem to be, they will get broke. I mean, that the dice will break a strategy, and it's good that I can show that as often as I do, and all the ways that I can. I think it's important, so I'm going to keep doing it. Just bear in mind what I struggle with, and believe me, I struggle with how to run that show and how to talk about it here, because I want to make sure that we're getting something out of it. I don't want to go out there and roll dice and run crapsy and just that be it, because that's not what this is about to me. This is about leveling us all up, right? And I think seeing something play live for that amount of time, I think is critical. So, all right, let's move ahead now. And a quick little note here. This screen's also wrong. Craig, we will not be doing Friday night fights with Craig this week. Craig will be out of town. He has something he has to deal with, so he will not be available this week. It's unavoidable. So sorry that Craig won't be here for us this week. It sucks. So we'll do something else on Friday. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We may do another Tiro show. Maybe Tiro will be with us on Friday Night Fights. I don't know. We'll do something on Friday night that will not be the normal Corey versus Craig. We'll have to do something else. I'm not going to bring the next man up and do all that. I really want Craig and Corey to go at it. So we'll figure something else out. And that's the announcement for Friday Night Fights. Sorry about that, but that's kind of the way it is. So here we go. Let's see. What else is going on? I'm looking at, let's see. I'm just checking my chats, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I mean, Steen, the problem with Steen though, Vince, is that Steen's not like visible with us all the time, right? I mean, he's not out here with us, and the hard hat tends to go to guys that run channels that are constantly putting content out. And but you're right, the amount of hours that Steen's put in, especially what people don't know, and Vince, you can probably talk to this, would be the stuff he's doing on the multiplayer stuff with Windcrafts. Like it's still a long way off, but he's putting a ton of work on that. I think that's gonna be a game changer for us for sure. So let's see. All right. I don't know. I'm trying to follow the chat here. I want to see if there's anything interesting that I'm not sure if Connor's responding to me or somebody else about finding interesting and making me think about the game more in different ways. Hope that that's about the paycheck. I hope that me rolling out many roles is helping people go, whoa, anything can happen. Like all the things that we say, oh, that never's going to happen. It freaking happens. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the Friday night, to the Friday fights, to the, I want to move on to the hard hat. So here is the nominees for the hard hat. We had Joe, Craftsmaster Journey. We had Brian, Hawaii Crapshooters. We had Craig from Old Bay Craps. We had Ken from Ken Knows Gambling. And the votes are in. I stopped counting the votes literally at 8:05. Like right before the show, I was counting votes. That's why I was late getting started here. Here's the totals. You ready for the totals? Get a drum roll here. It was another close one. I think the winner, if I'm not mistaken, won by 4 votes. 4 votes, right? We had a rally at the end here. So it wasn't Joe, and it wasn't Craig, and it wasn't Ken this time. It was Brian came through, and the vote total was 83 to 77. That's how close it was. Last night, Brian was ahead by about 26 votes when I went to bed, and he's rallied. Joe rallied this morning, couldn't quite cross the finish line. The votes counting 3-1 in the morning, that matters a lot. Joe won the vote tallies on the live sites on the community tabs, but Brian won it in the morning, and that's what that proved to be the difference. But congratulations to Brian. So what's going to happen here is this: Waylon has sent the hard hat to Ed. Ed doesn't have it yet, but Ed's going to get it. He's going to do a live with the hard hat, sign it, and then he's going to mail it to Brian. Brian's going to put it out there on the middle of his table for a Friday night Hawaiian Crapshooters practice session, and they'll all probably do something crazy to the hat, and then we'll get it back. So it's going to go to Brian. Clap him up, Brian, Hawaii Crapshooters, well deserving of this award. Brian, longtime friend of mine, and you guys got to know this. Brian and I go way back. When I first started my channel, I was at, I think, 300 and something subscribers, maybe 200 and something, maybe 4. It doesn't matter. It was way less than 1,000. And I was in Reno, and that's where I met Jeremy. And Brian and I were texting quite a bit. You know, he's kind of gotten to know him. And he's like, "Hey, I'm going to go to Reno. You want to come?" Off I go to Reno, and hung out with him and the crew down there. Made a bunch of money. We had a great time. Got a lot of good advice on my channel. We talked a lot, and I feel like Brian's a really good friend. We talk a lot, and I know, trust me, what this guy's doing. He'll tell you when he does the live videos, right? The live casino videos. I watched him set it all up and do all the work, and it takes him 10 to 15 hours to cut one of those hour-long videos. Every roll, he's got to put the graphics on with the numbers and get the camera. It's a pain in the ass. I'm telling you, him and Ed with the dozens of hours of editing that it takes to put one video out, it's a lot. You know, Joe is putting out, like me, daily lives, right? There's a whole different prep and work ethic that goes into daily lives than what Brian's doing. But I have utmost respect for everybody that's nominated, and keep the nominations coming. You want somebody in there next month? If Vince can get a rally behind Steen will be on the list next month. I have no issue with putting up whoever I get nominated, right? You guys email me and I see the things in chat. That's who goes on the form, not my friends. It's just who comes out. So so there it is. It will be expensive. It will not be any worse than what Chris had to pay to try and send the hard hat to George at CY when it got shipped back. It cost him like a few $100. So I still have to make Chris right on that one. So, all right, there's your stuff. So now we're going to move on. We're going to go ahead and jump into some fun. And we've been doing this week, I'm like Waylon versus whatever this week, right? This week, it's 2 of my favorites, or today, 2 of my favorites. We're going to do Waylon. You know, I love the mind. I love the mind. And we're going to go through the rules of it, right? It's 110 inside. We're going to press on any non-win, right? Whether it's $22 per press or whether it's $110 per press, depends on your bankroll. We have a $1,000 bankroll today, or $1,500. So we'll do $22 presses. Okay, just $22. I'm not going to press the whole 110. Can't afford it with this bankroll that we have. I will stop at level 5 and I will reset on a level 5 hit or a 7. I will not do the traditional mind where you stay up forever. Again, we're underfunded. With the $5,000 bankroll, I would go 110, 110, 110, 110, and I would stay there on a 7. We're at $1,000 bankroll. It's going to be 110 plus 22, 22, 22, 22, and back. We're gonna slow roll that thing, and we're gonna bounce it back. That's how it's gonna run. We're gonna play it today against this strategy called the permanent press, which is one that actually I did a long time ago, and Vince picked it up for a minute. Dr. Dan, or I think it was Dr. S picked it up for a little while. I like this one. It's 110 inside, and it's going to be a press on every win. So you win 35, press by 22. Win 28 or win 42, press by 22. When you win 56, you press by 44, and you're just going to go bump, 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 bump until you start making some money. That thing could stop at 22 all the time, or it could go to 22, 44, 66, 88 on a good run. At some point in time, you got to collect money, right, on some of these hits. So that one there, the permanent press, makes good money. If you take 3 or 4 hits and reset, 3 or 4 hits and reset, that thing just collects. It's a banker strategy. So let's roll them out. Let's go to the table and roll both these things out side by side, and we'll just see. We'll have some fun. We'll see which one does the job. So let me turn the lights on back there, and I love the permanent press, by the way, on bubble craps. It's so much fun on bubble craps because you just go $6 across, and or whatever. You can go across or just $4 inside, and it's press $4, and the bubble craps gets those long runs sometimes, and you can make 10, 15, 20 bucks pretty quick doing it that way. Here we go. We got us $1,000 in the rack, or $1,500, 500, 1,000, 1,400, and 100 in randomness. Okay, both players are going to start the same, 110. I'm going to put the mind in front and the permanent press in the back. All right, the mind in front right here, permanent press back by me. Both players out at 110. Let's get it rolling. Mind front, the permanent press in the back. Puck is off. Let's get some numbers here. We got an 8. 6-2, easy 8. That'll be our point. I'll put it back here, and let's go. There's a 3, a 1, 2, 3. So what happens is the mind in the front here is going to drop a quarter, get $3 and change, and is going to instantly press, right? We're going to go up. Whenever we don't win, the mind goes up. Okay, as high as level 5 and back to level 1. Tomorrow I'll play the mind more aggressively, but today we're gonna soft pedal it as best we can. There's an 8. So the mind is gonna get paid. Here's the difference, right? Here, watch this. The mind gets paid $42, right? And that's a collect. The mind always just does a straight up collect. I'll put all the monies over here, I think. I'll put the greens back on that side and the reds and whites over here. Mine's a collect. The permanent press is going to get paid. I'm going to pay it like this. Let's do 25, 35 bucks for that 8 back here. But he's going to press by 22 bucks. Put the reds on this side for him. He's going to press by 22 bucks. We're going to get $3 change. And the permanent press just always presses. Right? We'll put some rules on that at some point where the permanent press only collects after 3 presses. So we have to keep track of kind of where he's at. And we'll collect on 3. We may regress back. We may not. We'll make a decision as we go. There's the on. We're on the 9 now. There's a 4. So the permanent press, nothing happens. The mind has to go up. 22 bucks. Again, we don't win. We press. There he is, level 2. You can count the reds on the 9 and 5 to know what level you're at. Nice and easy to know where we stand. And there's the 7. So both players will leave the game. The permanent press guy never got a dime. Didn't take anything back because he's in press mode. He's fully permanently pressing, right? That's the whole point of that one. You go up, 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 and you collect on some regular intervals and drop it back. But there it is. Let's go. I'm going to put 110 back out for both players and take it out of the rack. There's 100. There's 100. There's 10. This guy's got to take a quarter and get 15 bucks change. All right. Okay, they're both out at 110. Puck is off. Let's get it done. 5, 4, and a 1. We're on the 5. 8. All righty. So the mind in the front, again, it's always a collect. Always a collect. The permanent press, the same thing, 35 bucks, but he's gonna press by 22. He's gonna drop a couple of reds, take the green back, and he's gonna go up. Permanent press, always pressing up. Just avoid big red. All right, there's a 2-1-3. So permanent press does nothing. Now the mind presses up. They'll be at the same level here in a second. The difference is when they collect, really. All right, 36 and 30. Let's go. There's a 5. That's the point. That's great. They're both going to get the same thing. 25, 42. 25, 42 for both players. Now the mind, straight up. Back to the rack it goes. The permanent press guy is going to drop a nickel and rack a quarter and press it up on that win. He presses up the wins. The other guy presses up the non-wins. It's just the, they're both going to get there. It's about the rhythm of that thing, right? And here, at a level 3 hit, maybe a level 4 hit, we'll take it and come back down again, right? Maybe we can maybe for both guys, we can make level 5 the target. And maybe that's a nice way to kind of keep them square. 6, 3, 9. I think the press guy is going to take longer to get there. Most likely, there's a 7. Yeesh. PSO for that shooter. That sucks. It'll take him longer to get there. This guy will get to the level 5 faster and come down quicker, but all the money's coming out of his rack versus out of wins. I think that's the biggest difference. I'm going to reset their tables here to the 110. And I'll pull that out of the rack just like last time. 110. There's the mind getting paid up. There's 100, and we'll do 25. 15 change for the permanent press guy. Now, where are they in the rack? They're literally even. Like both racks have got within $1 the exact same amount of money. So far, nobody's taken off. We haven't seen a run that would make these things act any different yet. There's a 10. Good. We'll be on the 10. Let's make that 10 be a good one and give us a nice long run. No, come on, man. Yikes. 3, 4. Brutal. 110 and 110. Wow, they're both reset. Boy, we're just losing money. Losing money in the craps table. Fully right side, right? Fully right side, taking our lumps. There's a 5, 3, 8. Let's go. Come on. Come on. I want to see these things kind of like have a difference. I want to see a spread here. All right. So nothing happens to the permanent press guy. The mind guy that was going to come out here, he's going to do a $22 press. I'll put 102 bucks out. We'll get 80 bucks and change. Put some greens there. Put some reds over here. Let's get him pressed up. Here we go. There's a 9. Awesome. So the permanent or the mind, 42 bucks. That's a collect for him. Again, we rack the greens on that side. The other guy is going to get paid. I'll pay him in reds. There's 35 bucks. We're going to keep this. I'm going to get some whites for that red there. And we'll do $22 pressure. And he goes up because he won. They're both the same bet size right now. They're both marching up. They're just going to get up there in different ways for different reasons. 8. Sweet. All right. The mind at 36 bucks. Yeah, 36 bucks is 42 to the rack. Second collect. That's nice. He hasn't recovered all those losses yet, but he's getting some money back in the rack at least. Back here, again, it's 42 bucks. He's going to drop a nickel and take a quarter. right? And make that a 22 press because he won. So the permanent press guy is actually a little bit higher right now, and he's higher only based on wins, not based on pulling more money out of his rack like this guy is. However, his risk level's higher, right? He's going to get nothing on a 7. He will get a little bit more hurt by a 7, right? The way the money changes hands here, I think, is interesting. Okay, it's a 5. So the mind is going to be $42. We're going to go 45 for 3 to make that payment. Actually, I'm going to take another red here and make that 50. Okay, just to keep things easy. The guy in the back here, he's at $42, which is 50 for 1, like so. He does need to press though, so we're going to go ahead and take. I don't know why I did 50, but we'll take $2. We'll get 5 change, and that'll be a $22 inside press for him. Okay, he's on his 3rd press. You can tell, again, how high you are by looking at the 5 and 9. This is 3rd level, right? Again, we can make a call on the permanent press, get to level 5, and then regress it all the way back. The same thing with the mind. If we say our level 5 is our target for both guys, that's what we can do, right? This guy will not collect to level 5. This guy here will collect all the time until level 5. So let's go. There's aces in both places. 1-1 aces. So again, nothing happens here, right? The mind, Waylon's mind, $22. He's at 42 now. That's at level 3 for him. Right? Yeah. Level 2, rather. Sorry, level 2. Level 2. Here we go. Come on. 11 yo. Okay, so again, nothing happens here. The mind needs to go up. There's $25. There's 3 change. And they'll both be at the same level now. It's interesting, right? They have the same bets out there. The mind has gotten there by putting all this money from the rack, right? Now, he did collect a couple times through that, but all the money here came out of the rack. This guy is at the same bet level. All the money came from the house. If we catch a 7, he'll have collected 0. If we catch a 7 here, a couple of these presses were paid for by those $42 wins earlier. So they're both in interesting spots. You can see the racks are competitive right now. Here we go. Let's stay hot. Let's stay hot, shooter. Of course, when I say that out loud, right, that's when I draw the 7 out. All right, let's take all this down. I will pull the 110 out of the rack in just a minute. That's a huge bummer. Didn't get there, right? You need, in these kind of things, you got to have the run to make it work, right? On these don't collect till level X type of things, you got to get the run. All right, let's do the money from the rack, and we'll take a quick assessment. There's 100, there's 100, there's 10, and there's 10. So they both back out for 110. Quick rack check. Looks like this. They're exactly the same. Again, they're within $6 of each other. Nobody's taken a run yet. We haven't gotten level 5, right? At level 5, we'll start seeing some differences. Right now, they're both just kind of working their way up and getting squeezed by that freaking 7. We need to get a good run. Both these strategies suck until you get a good run. You can't make any money here unless you're getting 5 hits at every level, right? There's a 9. On the 9, let's have a better run, guys. These are both strategies, by the way, that made the cut for the daily paycheck. They both did really good in their weeks. So I'm rooting for them both to show up and do some good. All right, $35, right? 25, 35 for the mind. Again, it's a collect always for the mind. The other player, 30, 35, we'll play it like that because it's going to be 22 on the press. And the rest comes back. Okay, stay off the big red. Damn it, John. The problem with this is that I gotta keep moving the chips around. I wouldn't mind it so much if it wasn't such a pain in the ass to deal. All right, well, there's that. What a bummer. We're just getting murdered here, right? Typical right side horror show. 110, 110, Same bet for both players. And can we catch a little bit of a run? Both players are down 400 bucks, 600 bucks. Dang, dude. How about something other than PSO? Oh, that's right. That's right. Somebody once told you all that the average shooter only sees a couple of box numbers, right? 2.5 box numbers is about the average. That's exactly what today is, right? Pretty average day. 2-3 box numbers and we're out. There's an 8. I think somebody wrote me a note on one of the videos last week that said I was an idiot because the 7 comes every 8.5 times. You should bet it that way. The 7 does not come, or the average shooter does not get 8.5 hits. The average shooter has 8.5 rolls, including come outs, and the final 7 are baked into that, right? The average shooter gets 2.5 hits in here. That's why this game is so hard. All right, here we go. 25. I'm gonna put $27 out for the mind. He'll get a nickel and change, and we're gonna press by 22 bucks. Here we go. Oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? Another PSO. Well, welcome to the horror show. Wow. Wow. Okay, well, let's do it again. Another 100 bucks, another 10 for the mind. I gotta take a quarter and break it for the other guy. 25, here's 110 from him. Jeez, this is a absolute murder scene today. Wow. Let's go. I would like to have this run in the garage with the Dolly Latterson, right? If this was the Dolly Latterson, we'd be making a fortune right now. We have made 1 point all day. There's a 5. There's the 5. Okay, here we go. Here we go, shooter. Hard 8. This is the 1. This is the 1. 25, 35 for the mind. And we'll do 25, 35 for the other guy. The mind again. Stack and rack it. The permanent press is going to drop 12 to make 22. Get the press done. Come on. Stay off of it. Stay off of it. There's a 5. Is that a point? That's a point hit. Mind. Again, simple collect, 35 bucks. $35 collect. Nice and easy. Down here, it's 42. 25, $42. He's going to rack the green, drop a red, and that's a $22 press. Puck's off. Let's go. There's a 6, a 4, 2. The lumber 6. There's a 4, 314. So nothing happens back here. The mind has got to push it up. There's 21. I'm going to borrow $1 from my neighbor. I'll pay him back when I get paid here. If I get paid, I just don't want to make change from a quarter right now. We owe our friend $1. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Jeez. Wow. All right. Well, today's going to be that day, I guess, right? Today's going to be that day. Yikes. We have enough time for one more shooter. Today's been like just literal like donation station today. Gee whiz. There's 100, 100, 25, 25. Both players are going to get some change. Damn, dude. Cannot believe. I hate doing comparison videos like this when it works the complete opposite for both. Like both players aren't getting a chance to showcase anything. Like it's hard to give you a sense of anything when nobody gets a chance to go off. I need to have like a roll here where you can really see the differences to make a decision, right? Here again, there's the 6, 5, 25. He's going to get 3 change. Press. There we go. There's a 4. Wow. So again, no money made up here. The mind player has got to go. We'll go 27. 5 change. Oh, and I'll give him back his buck, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Inside numbers, please. Inside numbers, please. There's a 6. Great. All right. So we're already at level 2 here. That's 42 bucks, right? That's 50 for 1. Well, we don't have 50 bucks. We'll do $49. 25, 45, $49. That's a nice collect right there for him. Real nice collect. This guy back here is at 35. 25, 35. He will drop 12 to press. Come on. Come on. 6-5, yo. All right. $22. The mind is going to start working. There's a 7. Oh my God. John. Just gripping my hands, like just like, ah. I just want something to differentiate. Can't get it done. That was actually an interesting hand though. This was a little bit different for both guys. The mind went out there with multiple presses from the rack, right? To bump these bets way up. The other player only had the 1 hit, right? And pressed and never collected. He'd lost a straight up 110. The mind collected a couple on the way, right? To getting up there. In the rack, you can't tell, right? In the rack, we're at 75, we're at 50 in greens. And they're essentially within $5 of each other. But the rhythm of that roll from the rack, from the rack, from the rack, from the win, you can see the difference. It's when we have a big run that's going to make it the bigger number or the bigger change. Back on the 10. This will be our last shooter because we're getting close to 9 o'clock and I've got to get out there for the paycheck. So there's a 415. Let's hope that we get some goodness here. There's $35 for the mind. The other guy's going to get paid. We'll do it again with reds. 35, 30, and 5. There's 22 bucks for the press. Rest goes into the rack. So on the hit, permanent press goes up. There's a 10 on the end. That's the point. Nothing happens to him, but the mind will press 22 on the non-win. I know the regular mind stays at the level when the 7 comes, right? That's the way that Waylon plays it. But I think with the small bankroll, you're kind of hard pressed to do that. There it is. There's a 6. There's a 9. That's fantastic. So 42 bucks for our mind player. There's 25. There's a couple of bucks. And same thing back here. 25, 42. He's going to drop a nickel and keep that quarter. And that's going to be the source of the press back here. All right. Of course. 2 hits and a 7, 2 hits and a 7, 2 hits and a 7 every single time. So we got to call it here. Unfortunately, we're out of time, and we're not going to get a good look at the differences between these two. And in fact, you're going to get to see what happens at every craps table you play at when you're a right side player, right? You're waiting for the miracle run, and it never happens. It was all PSLs and one-hit wonders today, and we're going to be here. That's a quarter. The mind outperformed the permanent press, but not by much. It looks like it's literally a $5 difference. There's $500, $700, $800 for both players. 800 or 5, 6, 7, 800 bucks for both players. The mind has 825. The other guy's 820. So both players got smoked. Not a good run by yours truly. There was a lot of quick 7s and no payments for anybody. That was awful. And again, it sucks, man. It sucks seeing these. Let me go back to the screen here. It sucks to me. Where's my camera? Hello? Where'd my camera go? Hello? Let's try that again. That one? Hey, there we are. It sucks when I'm trying to do a comparison like this, right? Because I have faith in both strategies. They both work on a good run, right? They work differently though. Like on a good run, they both win money, but for different reasons and at different points. And it's fun to see like, okay, this one's going up, that one's, and they're doing this. And in the end, they both make pretty good money. They both end up about the same, actually, in the end, but they get there in different ways. I think that's interesting. When I roll this kind of stuff out, I'm like, that's pretty cool how that worked out. Today, every roll was 2 rolls, so you didn't get a chance to see on a stronger run how they both work. It's unfortunate. Whatever. I mean, dice are going to do what dice are going to do. It just didn't work out to give us a good. Yeah, Eltor walk away, right? I did walk away. Brutal run there, but I like to see the way that multiple strategies play the same roles, especially when they're so similar like this. It would have been nice to have seen a good run. Whatever. When I practice this thing a lot, I'll have this happen, and then I'll go off on like a 25 or a 30 roller, and then you really see, okay, there's the fight. There's the fight back. And that's when you start making some of the rules there. So anyway, fun stuff. I love both strategies. They're fun right side plays, but today was not our day, right? The back in my day act. Thank you, Mid-Atlantic Craps, for putting out the link for Chiro. Let me go one screen ahead here. Let's look at our any questions or PCs or whatever that I need to hit here for you, and then I'll get out there and lose money in the garage too. So yeah, Vince, you can play it interactively 8 people at a time. I don't know, I had to talk to Steen actually. Has he done the has he launched that to where it's scalable? I know it was only like just the one table that we had before. So he's got it like where it's wide. That's pretty freaking cool. Do we don't? The problem, Vince, I'll never endorse a do we don't. I can't. What's happening, unfortunately, is word's gotten out. You can't play it. Like most casinos don't allow a do we don't. If they do allow a do we don't, you have to have one side be table minimum higher than the other side. And I've got reports now of people saying that they go a do we don't like that, like 25 on the pass and 15 on the don't, and you're not allowed to lay odds on the don't. Right? That's what they're doing. So their casinos are starting to eliminate the do we don't completely, which tells you something about it, right? When the casinos get rid of something or they change a rule, there's a reason for why they do that. So do we don't now is a thing that we shouldn't be talking about it because a lot of people can't play it and it's becoming a washout thing. You know, as much as you'd like to have it be a way, it's becoming a way that we can't play anymore, which kind of sucks. Yes, Dan, if the average shooter gets 2 box numbers, get your hits off and get out of there, right? That's why I love like the Lagerman or my 130 play that I do, like my 130 up and down that I like to play. That's why I like that. That's why I love the skill 66, right? 2 hits and out. 2 hits and playing for free. 2 hits and you get a shot. 2 hits and you get a shot. 2 hits, you get a shot. 1 hit, you have to suck tailpipe for a minute and you come back to it. I like that better than just waiting around forever. These strategies like the mind, they work with a massive bankroll. They work because over time they recover. If you take the mind and on the 7s, you come back at the old level, right? Those first couple of hits that you get coming back can recover where you were, right? I think at the small bankroll we had, we would have went to 0 today trying that, but with a bigger bankroll, that totally works. You just gotta survive it, and it's hard. Today was not a survival kind of a day. So, all right, that's it, guys. Final thoughts are this. I just want to reiterate love for Chiro, love for Crystal. Let's keep them lifted up. I didn't throw 1 yo today, I don't think. But in the garage, I will track them. I'm donating $11 per 11 as I go from now on. Please join me in that effort. Jeff put the link out there in chat for you. And again, eyes wide open with all the strategies. I'm going to run everything this week, just like today. Some days you're going to see this. And I think when you see this, it's just as good as seeing it win. It's just as valuable to watch $700 burn as it is to watch $700 get made, because you've got to see where the rhythm of a table destroys a strategy and what are the red flags of it, right? That mind got 2 collects on most of the shooters, which is about $70. it goes out there for 110, and then it presses again, so it's out there for 132. Those two wins don't cover the 132, right? You're chasing yourself in the mind until it gets to 5, right? And when the mind wins, it wins because you collect once or twice on the way to level 5, get a level 5 hit, come back down, you're $200 in profit. It happens really fast, but it's got to happen. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's it, guys. Eyes wide open. Be careful with your bets. Keep watching our shows here. I think we're doing a good job of really showing you all of the long-term danger and the long-term potential of these strategies. So that's it. I'm out of here. I'll see you in 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes or so, out in the garage for daily paycheck. I'm going to run Latterson, straight up flats, going commando. God help us. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, Godspeed, Chiro. Godspeed, Crystal, and prayers to your family. Craig, prayers to your family as well. Love you, brother. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye, all.